Today I'm going to show you how do I upload refreshable data to powerbi.com from Dynamics NAV 2015. In this video we will walk you through the steps required to expose data from Microsoft Dynamics NAV to powerbi.com to enable the building of a dashboard like the one shown here. To get there I will follow 4 steps. In the first step I will create and publish a query object as an OData web service. Then in the next step I will explain how to create a data source in Excel to the OData query object. In step 3 I will create a report in PowerView, and in the last step I will upload the PowerView report to powerbi.com. The first thing we require is a dataset from Microsoft Dynamics NAV. Typically I recommend to use a query object to do this. So what we have here is a query called customer analysis. I've opened it in the development environment and it's going to fetch information from the customer ledger entry table. And based on that information we have the sales and the profit, a posting date. I'm also going to fetch information from the customer table. The query is saved and compiled with an ID of 50,000. Once we create the query, then we need to expose it as a web service. You can do this in the web services page. I have done this for this query and the URL is available here. Now for the data to be refreshable for powerbi.com, the instance of Microsoft Dynamics NAV that's used must be configured to use username password authentication. So I will type in my username and my password to authenticate and to log on to the OData web service, and we can see the results. In Excel, I'm going to add our data source. I'm going to use the from OData feed. I'm going to paste the URL that we have used, and then I'm going to use username password authentication. Just typing in username and password, which means that I'm going to authenticate with username password authentication like I did before. Then when I'm going to click next, the dataset is going to be shown. I'm going to select my customer analysis dataset. And then if I click next, I will have the data connection wizard, which I'm going to be able to save our new data connection file. It's very important that I enable the save password in file, which means that it's going to be remembered in the file. Users who are going to use this Excel spreadsheet in powerbi.com, once they have access to the sheet, they have access to all of the data. But when we are going to refresh the data, this username password is going to be used to connect to the web service, and then Dynamics NAV security is going to take over. If I'm going to click here on the finish button, the data is going to be fetched from the data source and is now ready to be imported into our Excel sheet. So here I am back in Excel. I'm at the end of the import data wizard, and I'm going to select the PowerView report option. This is going to launch PowerView. It's going to retrieve the data from our web service, and it's going to open a PowerView sheet. Here I'm going to create a report. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, for example, select the sales, and then I'm going to scroll up a little bit. And I'm going to select the country region code, which is even a little higher. And this information, I'm going to visualize it using a column chart, a clustered column. Once the visualization is ready, then I'm going to resize it. I'm going to reorder it. Then I'm going to add again, for example, my sales local currency, which this time I'm going to display by salesperson code, and then that one I am going to display also as a clustered column. I'm going to resize this a little bit, so I have my 2 salespersons, and next, for example, I'm going to select the sales local currency, and I'm going to use the customer posting group. Again, I'm going to visualize it using a clustered column. And the type of visualization is not important right now. We just need to create here our dashboards. Next, what I need to do is I'm going to save this spreadsheet on my computer on the desktop, and I'm going to save it, for example, as a customer analysis. I already have a sheet like this. I'm just going to override it. So we are now ready to upload our report to powerbi.com. So I've opened up my browser and I navigated to powerbi.microsoft.com. This is the Power BI website. Now I'm going to log in using my Office 365 account or my live account, and here I am connecting to the Power BI site. Once I am logged in, I will be able to import my spreadsheet, and I'm going to be able to do this by making use here of the import or connect to data. I'm going to import a file, but I could even also connect to a database. In this case, I'm going to import a file. And then I can select, is it a local file or does it come from OneDrive or somewhere else? In my case, it's a local file. And then I'm going to fetch it here on my desktop. I'm going to select the Excel sheet. I'm going to import it. And the information is now being uploaded and also analyzed by Power BI. Once in here, you can see that I have the report. I can run the report. I can have a look at the information which is currently in the Excel sheet. All of the information in here, and the Power View dashboard is working as it should. Now, what we can also do is if I go here into the dataset or the data source that has been selected, you can see the 3 dots. If I'm going to click on it, we have a possibility to do a refresh, which is going to refresh the information and fetch it via the web service. What we can also do is, for example, we can set up a scheduled refresh, so the data is also going to be fetched on a regular basis via web services from Dynamics NAV. If we want to, we can also create a dashboard based on the data visualizations that we first created here in the Excel sheet. In order to do that, I can go here into dashboards. And then I can see I have my customer analysis dashboard. I can edit it. I can also import other Excel files, and I can create a complete dashboard to make use of Q&A and so on. To wrap it up, these were the steps that I followed. First, I created and published a query as an OData web service. Then in step 2, I created a data source in Excel and I connected to the OData web service. In step 3, we created a Power View report in Excel based on the OData query web service. And in step 4, we uploaded our Excel spreadsheet on powerbi.com, where we were able to refresh our data. So with these steps, I covered these topics, uploading refreshable data to powerbi.com. To learn more, please visit the following resources. Thanks for following this short video to explain how do I upload refreshable data to powerbi.com from Dynamics NAV. This video in the How Do I series for Dynamics NAV 2015 is brought to you by Microsoft and Plataan.